welcome back to my channel. Thank you to my subscribers and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see. And if so, please join us throughout this journey of ours. Become part of the family by subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. Tutorial is free. And also hit the bell notification for new uploads when I do upload new videos. Please do give a thumbs up. It does help to circulate the video. And of course, by subscribing helps to grow the channel. I want to thank every single one of you that have been commenting, that have been part of this journey with me. I am very humble and grateful to every one of you. I'm like, I couldn't believe, like every day I see the channel growing more and more and more. And when I started this journey, I didn't expect much out of it. Just pretty much do my own thing and share with the world. And never thought I would get even to 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm at 2,000 something. It's like, wow, overwhelming. I'm very, very grateful and thankful to every single one of you. Also for sharing my work and for tagging me along. For the people that have been creating my pieces, have been tagging me on Instagram. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to every one of you that have been commenting and asking questions. It does help many people, certain question you guys ask. And I do answer to every one of you. I might not answer right away on the spot because of the hour change of countries, depending upon where you are. But I do answer to every single one of you. So thank you for that. And please, for other ones that are curious to question, please feel free. I am here to help you with these patterns, anything that you would like to know. Thank you so much for everybody in the groups. I can't thank you enough for all your beautiful comments. It's unbelievable how, you know, thousands of people on many different groups respond to my creations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. Big shout out to Karen Coffey, the administrator, owner of Crochet Therapy and also Yarn Therapy, to Karen Young, monitor of these groups. I thank you so much. I love these women to pieces, and they've been so helpful with the channel. They've been sharing my work constantly, asking people in the groups to subscribe. I can't thank you enough, ladies. Really, you guys are something else. I am very grateful and humbled by it. I can't thank you enough. Thank you is not enough, obviously, but it's the only thing really I can do. So a big hug to both of you and everybody in the groups, of course, and not just the groups, but people that are just, you know, finding my channel and popping on. Thank you so much. And being today that it's Women's Day, happy Women's Day to every single woman out there. Big hugs to all of you. So I created these Calla Lilies. I think that's what they're called. I'm not too sure about it in English, but anyway, I believe that's what it is. I try to Google the name of this and it comes up Calla Lily. So we're going to create the Calla Lily. Obviously, you know, when I create certain patterns, well, most of my patterns anyway, 99.9%, when I do either a centerpiece or flowers, you know that something always comes behind that. So obviously I'll be working on a table runner and I will be adding these beautiful flowers in. So I hope that you will become part of that and you will subscribe and get the upload, the notification when I do upload it. So we're going to get started on this. 99.9%. I use 100% cotton thread. These are 4 plies. Most of the time I use 4 plies. It can happen that I might use a thicker if I'm doing rugs, you know, things like that. Or thinner if I'm doing like bedroom pieces for night table dressers, something like that. So yeah, it's a 4 ply. 4 ply, some people ask me, what's a 4 ply? It's 4 strings in one. These are Portuguese threads, just to let you know. I use a number 3 needle, but my 4 ply is exactly the same thickness as Aunt Lydia number 3 for the people in US or Canada. And if you want to create them smaller, you can go with number 10 or whatever size you'd like to create these pieces. This is very easy to create. It's not hard at all. And so we're going to get started. Of course, you will need a pair of scissors, and you can create whatever color you like. I mean, not necessarily, we see a lot of the white, but there is also the purple, lilac, very rose, red, orangey, multi orangey white, sort of things like that. So yes, there's several colors, but when we think of callas, we think right away white. Yes, because it's the most common one, but you can create in different colors. So we're gonna get started on this, people. So thank you so much again, everyone. Okay, let's get started. And before I forget, if my video is too fast for you, just go up top, hit the three little buttons up top, go on settings and slow down the video to your taste, you know, because sometimes I get over my head and just blah, blah, blah. I'm a fast crocheter, so I'm not thinking that I'm recording. I'm just yapping away and on my bubbles. So please bear with me. Also, there might be, again, still some crochet codes that I'm not familiar with because the crochet codes are all new to me. Hasn't been long that I've learned to say them in English, so bear with me, especially my first videos when I started the channel. It's not a year yet. I mean, I had no idea on code, so I just tried to explain it the best I could my own way. I'm sure that some of you have seen it, probably laughed at it because I had no idea what I was saying, or I did know what I was saying, but you didn't know what I was saying because I had no codes for you. But anyway, I've improved a lot, and I thank Nancy Strand for that. She helped me a lot, which is one of the big followers of mine. So thank you, Nancy. I will never forget the helpful way of teaching me the codes. So I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting behind. I think that's pretty much it. So let's get started. Okay, so as you know, I'm just going to move these a little bit. And I had to put on top of the black or else you wouldn't be able to see it properly. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to do a slip stitch knot. And this is number 4, 100% cotton, like I told you. And we're going to do a 16 chain stitch. Okay, this is no different. I had the tutorial already out on the leaf. So basically this is a leaf, but with a little twist in order to have it become the flower. Okay, so we're going to do 16 chain stitch, and I'll meet you at the 16th. So we've done the 16 chain stitch. We're going to skip one, the first one here, and we're going to go into the next one and do single. And we're going to do single all the way to the bottom, to the first chain stitch that we created. And that's not the slip knot, okay? So we're just going to continue doing this. So this is going to be a very, hopefully, short video because there's not much to it, creating a little flower, but sometimes these little details can take a little bit longer. So we'll see how this is going to pin out. Okay. So yes, I'm still working on these flowers, just creating a whole bunch of them. And then I will decide, I have an idea more or less, what I'm going to do as the table runner with these flowers. Okay, so now we've come to the last one, not including, we don't put on the slip knot. Okay, so we're going to do 2 chain. We're going to come back into the same one here as we finished doing this last single, and we're going to do a single. Now we're going to do singles on this side, okay, all the way through to the beginning. Try to hide our thread in between the single crochet. Now, I'm not even counting stitch, but it's supposed to be, well, you're supposed to have, since we did the 16 chains, supposed to have 14 on one side singles, and this side will be 13, but it doesn't matter if you have 15 or 13. It still works out whatever way. You'll still end up with flowers. So it's not like I'm really counting the stitches on here, but it's 14 singles on one side normally and 13 on the other side. Okay, so we leave 2 stitch behind, and this is no different than the tutorial of the leaves, people. And my thread keeps falling. Oh, good God. I wish I had a machine to keep shooting me thread. Okay, so we're gonna go up 1 chain, and now we're only gonna grab back loop. So we're gonna turn our work, we're gonna grab only back loop, and we're gonna do singles, okay? And not forgetting that we leave 2 of them behind because we need to have the tip of the flower there. So we're doing like little steps, let's say. So single all the way to the bottom again. And we're always going to be working back and forth on these rows until the size that we need. Now these little letters, as you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 on one side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we got 6 on both sides, and we're gonna do the same thing with this. Okay, so you continue on. Now we did that 2 chain. We're gonna come in here, do 1 single, and do 2 chain again on the same space, on the same middle, 1 single. We're gonna grab the back loop right away behind it on the next stitch, and do singles on the back loops only, so we can have that effect of, let's say, the little nerve of the flower. And we're gonna go until there's 2 stitch left over. So you're gonna have the same size, so you have 1, 2 left over that you don't do. And basically you're gonna have the same size on one side like the other. You're gonna do 1 chain, turn your work, and again you're gonna work back loop, and you continue on with these back loops until the middle again. Middle, you're going to do 1 single, 2 chain, and 1 single, all in the same space in the middle where we did the 2 chains. Okay. I have to keep pulling my thread because I have this big cone on the floor next to me. So you get here, you're in the middle, single, 1, 2 chain, back into the middle, single, single, next space, single, always using back loops only. And you're going to leave 2 stitch behind over here because you're creating these little steps. Okay. So you see we have 1, 2, 3, so you do 1 more. And now you see 1, 2. So you have those 2 stitch you leave behind, 1 chain, and now you're going to have the same size as the other side. Back loops only again. And we're going to do this until we have 4 created. And then we're doing another little trick to close up our flower, then continue doing 2 more rows for these steps. You're going to the middle, 1, 2, single in the middle again, come and grab the next space, back loops, now this is good to be used on any pattern. So we have 2 chain, 2 space left, 2 stitch left. We don't do them. So we do 1 chain, turn around, and we're going to the next space and back loop, back loop, back loop. So 1, 2, 3. We need 4. I'll meet you at the 4th one. Okay, so I just created or creating the 4th one. So you have the 4th one here and 3 on the other side because we haven't gotten there yet. So continue doing your singles on the back loops. Now, depending upon your thread, your yarn, whatever you're using, if you have a wide stitch, I mean, some people are more loose than others, okay? So, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 1, 2, 3 because we still need to work this side here, but we're not doing that right away. I mean, we are, but we have to maneuver this here. Okay, so now you see we have, if you look well, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 stitches counting from the middle one here that we have the 2 chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what are we going to do? We don't want this hole to be too big here, but we want it a little bit in order to put our yellow little stands inside. And you're going to count the same thing from the same hole, from the same stitch, okay? The same one as we count on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to count from the same one. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are you going to do? You're going to pull your thread right in it. And you're going to close it with slip stitch. Now, if you find that your hole is too small, mine I think is just fine. You don't want it too big either. You know what I'm saying? Or else it's like too not pretty. Then you can go up 1 more stitch, and instead of doing on the 4th, do on the 5th. It doesn't change anything. Just gonna make your hole bigger. Okay, so we continue the back loop here after we do the single, because now we have to create on this side where we have only the 3 little steps, right? So we continue on. And we leave the 2, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, we leave 2 stitch behind because we needed to match up the same way as this side. We turn our work 1 chain and we work back loops again, back down. Okay. Now we're going to go all the way through. We bend our little edge here in the middle so we can get our stitch here where we closed in with that 1 chain. You continue to grab back loops only. And you continue working until you have only 2 stitch left on this side again, because now we're going to be creating the 5th little step, you want to call that. I think it's the easiest way to explain, I guess. And here, because we have 2 left, okay? You see we have 1, 2. So 1 chain. And you see how it's already forming, right? So back loops. And you continue on doing the same thing here where we closed off the leaf to create the flower. And we leave the 2 stitch behind. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We need to come back again and do the single crochets all the way until the other side and leave 2 stitch behind. So we can then create the 6th one. Now, if you don't want to create so many steps here, you can cut down to 3 or 4, depending upon whatever you need it for or you're creating, okay? Okay, 1 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th one. So nothing to it, simple as that. And this would make our 6th also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you give it 1 chain. You come right in the middle of the first stitch here and slip stitch it. Go into the next one and slip stitch again. Cut your thread, your yarn, whatever you're using. Pull well and just bring, you're going to bring it from the outside because we're flipping this flower over. We want to have this effect on the outside, okay? So we're just going to make it a few knots here and there on the outside, okay? Because we are flipping our flower over. So this is going to be hidden on the inside of the flower, okay? So once you make that one little knot, cut your excess. And we're going to turn our flower this way. Of course, it's all bundled up, poor thing. And here you have your cauliflower. Look how gorgeous. Now we're going to go into the yellow in the middle. Again, I'm using the Portuguese thread, 100% cotton, 4-ply as you can see here, and this would be the number. Ladybug is the brand. Okay, now we're going to do a slip stitch knot, but don't do it at the edge because we need this to tie into the flowers. So bring it up a bit like that and leave that much string. So we're going to do 16, depending upon the length that you desire for your flower, depending upon the size of your flower. I'm going to do 16 chain stitch, and I'll meet you at the end. Now I've done my 16 chain stitch. I'm going to come into the first one, and I'm doing single. Again, single. Now, if you grab well in the center, your little stem here is going to be straight. But if you grab only the loop, one loop, it's going to bend. So if you want it to curve a bit at the beginning, you grab just, you know, the loop, like 3, 4 of them. As you can see, I grabbed one loop here, here and there. So you can curve a little bit. And then go into the center and do your singles, starting grabbing both loops so it can stand up straight, or else it's going to be bent all the way. I mean, unless you would like to have it completely bent. I don't. I like a little bit just to give it that natural look to it. But that's about it. So you've come to the last one. You're also going to leave a little bit of string because we needed to tie it onto the flower. And just pull your thread through, give it that little knot there. You're going to grab your flower and you're going to grab your thread. You're going to go inside of the little hole from the outside there. Pull your thread here through the hole out like that. And right at the edge here, doesn't matter right at the edge, it doesn't matter which stitch you grab, just pull one only out. And then just give it a knot, not only a knot, but 2 or 3 to make sure that nothing is going to come out of place. So give it a nice, don't over tighten it or else it's going to crump up the middle piece. But make sure you grab it well here in the center. And now you can tighten it more, giving the second and third knot to make sure that nothing is coming out of place. Now you cut the excess of this. You don't need to cut all the way to the edge because this is going to be covered with the green. Okay. Whoops. And so you see it gives that little curve like I wanted to, so you can look at more natural. Now we're going to go into the green stem. So again, this is a 4-ply. And we're going to do, depending upon the size of stem you'd like it to be, so slip stitch knot. I have a longer one. I have 25 chain stitch. I have 16. I have 14. So it really depends on the size that you'd like your stem to be. So I'm going to do, let's say 18 on this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we've done 18. We're going to do singles all the way to the bottom. Now, like I said, try to grab the center on both loops so your stem can stay straight. You can do a few, if you don't want it so straight, grab only the one loop. Like this is also going to give it that natural, you know, the stems on the flowers, how they bent a bit. So I do like a couple here and there, give it a little curvy. And then the rest just go on the center and get it straightened to go into your flower. Okay, so now we've reached the last one. We're going to do 4 chains. This is the same size as the double crochet. We're going to come exactly where we have the space here, and we're going to create the double crochet. And again, so I'm going to do this 12 times. But if you're doing like smaller flowers with smaller thread, you don't have to do like 12, because I'm sure 6, if it's thinner, like size Aunt Lydia number 10, if you're using that, you probably only need like 6. That's enough to cover the stem of the flower, okay? And I think I made a mistake here. I need to do a double. So when you see that the space is like a little hole, I'm just going to jump back here a bit just to close up that hole, stretch my thread, because I don't want to leave a hole here in the front. And just continue from there doing your 12. It's going to close up because there's a lot of stitch that's going to go in there. Bring your thread to the back because that's going to stay in anyway. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7. 8. Or try to hide your thread at the same time. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Now it's going to look like this, but because this is thick enough and big enough, I want it a little bit longer, like the ones I have here on mine. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain into the next space, double crochet. So now it's going to be 12 double crochets just to give it enough length. Actually, sorry about that. I need to tie it in together. Sometimes you're just not thinking. We're going to do those double crochets, but only after we closed in. Okay, so now you're going to come here where the first one is, and you're going to close it in with single, okay? And go up 3. And then on the next one, so we're going to do the 12 like this. And then again, all the way to the end. So you're going to have your 12 double crochet. On top of your, your 12 double crochet on top of the triple crochet, I should have said, right? I think that's how you say it. And I had said double, but it's triple. Sorry about that, people. I'm still learning these codes, and it's still, sometimes I'm okay with it, but some other times it's like, oh my God, I can't think, I can't remember. But eventually I'll get there. Okay, so you keep turning your little stem there, and you come into the center here where we closed off, and just do 1 double crochet in there. It doesn't matter if it's 13, it's just to keep it together so we don't have any like big hole gap in between. And then close it in a third space with single. So you have this little stem going here. Now, if you wanted to go longer, let's say your thing is a little bit longer, then you would come in the space here, and to finish it off, you would do singles just to give it that nice little finish too. And you do single crochet all the way around, and it tightens up everything together. Or if your stem is like you need a little bit more longer in length, then you can just do a few rows of single crochet over single crochet. So nothing to it. Now normally people would do these stems just, you know, a chain and one row of double crochet, and that's it. And they'll probably do like 10 or 12 double crochets on the top, like I created the first one here. But I came up with this idea to continue on for length. So and then you would just, you know, and then slip stitch and give it a little bit of thread, because we're going to tuck it in here, because it's going to be hidden on the inside. It doesn't matter which stitch you grab in here, just pull your thread inside, you know, because then once it goes on the patterns or whatever you're doing, if you're gluing it and then giving it a few stitch here and there, nothing is going to come apart. So that's going to stay in. We're going to cut the excess of the thread. It doesn't matter if it stays a bit, and we're going to leave it like that. Just give it a nice little pull. And look how cute that is. Isn't that nice? And we're going to put our little tail. So we got to sort of work it, dress it up, because it's naked, poor thing. So we'll give it a cute little dress. And you're covering that hole there. And then, you know, you give it a few stitch or glue. If you have the Gorilla Glue, nothing is going to come out. You just put a tiny little bit here and there. And then you're okay. You're good to go. Just going to turn my... Now, where you have the opening here where we closed in, you put that to the back, because that's going to go on the back on the pattern, so you don't see it anyway. So we've dressed up our little cute little Calla. Whoop, we did dress it up, but I guess she, of course, it's not glued or stitch on. It's normal. It's going to come out if I keep playing with it. So we're going to dress her up again. I'm going to pull the little center there, and then you can turn a little bit of the front here like this, as you wish. You can leave it up this way too if you'd like. I'm going to turn it this way. Anyway, and so here is your end result. And then, of course, if you're putting into the pattern, you have to give it a few stitch or glue it, however you like it. I always glue it with hot gun transparent glue, and also give it a few stitch to make sure that everything is tacked. Anyway, people, this is all there is for this. Not complicated. I hope you enjoyed this very short tutorial. Please stay tuned for the table runner for this. Obviously, it's going to be gorgeous. So I will see you on my next tutorial. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification and give it those thumbs up to help circulate the video. Thank you so much again, everybody. God bless. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.